at the very first step of retouching, of course, we need to find our image on our computer, and the best way to search the image once you choose them is to search through Adobe Bridge. If you have any doubts, don't worry, because every Photoshop has Adobe Bridge, so you just need to hit File, Browse in Bridge, and then you search in on your computer across the folders to select the image that you're going to work with. So I already chose the image for this video, beautiful Misha, and let's open this. First of all, that's a really amazing quality. The image taken from Nikon D810 by Ariel Glabowski, so that's why we can work now with this amazing quality image. And the first step is slightly different than something I used to do and something that actually most of the people do. I usually jump into the camera calibration first in Photoshop. Why I'm doing this? You see, many people switch to another software for raw processing, for example, Capture One, which I also like, and mainly because of the calibration of Adobe products. So first thing that we are interested about is camera profile, Adobe standard, and the image, you can see how it looks. It looks a little bit desaturated, it looks a little bit flat, and of course you can set it manually over here by playing with each channel hue and saturation, setting up the tint of the shadows, but also you can switch and check in between on camera profiles. From what can I see, actually, Nikon have quite many profiles over here, have monochromic profiles that I would never recommend to you. If you want to work with the black and white, don't check any profile over here. But what profiles you should be interested is, of course, Adobe Standard. It could be Camera Natural, which sort of flattens it. It gives nice color, and actually it could give nice base for the retouching, because we need to flatten up the image just a little bit before retouching. But we also have Camera Portrait, which in this case looks absolutely superior. As you can see, it has really nice and deep colors, and what I like to do is to compare to Adobe Standard. As you can see, Adobe Standard, more contrast, less color. Camera Portrait, from what we can see, less contrasts, more color. So something that we could be interested, because we want to knock down the contrast in the raw processing at first, but we want to get more colors because the camera raw images looks a little bit flat. What I would also check is Camera Standard, which gives, I think, the best over here. Adobe Standard and Camera Standard is the result that I want. Would I go with Portrait? I think I don't want to go that flat. I prefer to have the control by myself over this. But though I would say, yes, you can go with Camera Portrait. It's a good start. And especially over the face, I can see it sort of smoothen this up. So that would be absolutely good choice. I'm going with Camera Standard over here just to see how knocking down the highlights and recovering shadows would go for me here. So then it would look similar to the Portrait. I'm choosing Camera Standard because some people would probably consider that choosing Adobe Portrait maybe is controversial, so I don't want to go that way. For sure, I want to knock down the highlights because I want to recover highlights a little bit later, and also I want to recover some stuff from the shadows because the shadows are quite dark, and we'll be working with the contrasts a little bit later. So this is not something that we want to have right now. Clarity, of course, we're not going up with the clarity over here, because it will make this horrible look over the image. Also no contrast. What I would do for this image, I want to actually take down just a little bit of the clarity because I can see a lot of the skin texture on the face. So this is the one thing I would like to work with. And let's press P before and after. I think this image looks really nice to start with. Really nice colors over here, deeply saturated. And I don't want to do anything much more with colors over here. So what's important for me, setting up really nice profile, working with highlights, shadows, and apparently we could also take down some of the clarity. If you want to work a little bit more with camera profile, you can see how the hue works, etc. But it's I would say it's quite dangerous to go this way, working with hue. You can go to the direction that you would not necessarily like. So I would rather avoid such a things and work with this if it's needed just a little bit to make sure the result is the result that I do really like and I do really want. So being, as you can see, just few points, this or that, to see what really suits to this image and in which direction I want to go. Sadly, I can't go more with the highlights because I think it will give me slightly unnatural look. So just to the point I can do. And then we will be ready to open this in Photoshop. And one thing I want to tell you, this image might look a little too much. We don't have this area really nice over here. So I want to just tell you at the very start that probably I will be cropping this image, searching for more this sort of outlook, which I believe will be suited much better to the image. I might cut this just above the blues to keep only the portrait, but we will decide about this at the very end. And now what you want to do, you want to open the image as it is and have some more time to decide. So I'm going to press Shift to make sure I'm opening this not as an image, but I'm opening this as an object. Why I'm opening this image as an object? I'm going to show you right now. If you open this as an image, you can't really go back and change any settings that you have over here. But once you open this as an object, you can just double hit on this layer and you're back in the camera, and you can change the settings if you are not happy about something. So that's really powerful, and that's why I always work non-destructive way and open images as an object. Once we are in Photoshop, we are ready to start our work.